Central Avenue Northeast in Minneapolis, or megasbooks.com.
Are you one of thousands of individuals who know you have psychic abilities but don't know how to tap into your higher self? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who offers classes that can help you reach your goals. Refined Divine holds classes Monday and Thursday at her 2 locations and via Zoom. Classes consist of manifestation, learning psychic abilities, shadow work, and healing trauma. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
This is Psychic Medium Deb. You can go to refinedivinepsychic.com.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for clear skies tonight with a low around 64, Thursday sunny with a high near 86, and Friday sunny with a high around 87. Mavericks Real Roast Beef in Roseville sets the standard for savory satisfaction. Experience the perfection of their Philly steak, turkey bacon, avocado, and more. Elevate your meal with freshly fried fries or onion rings. Visit mavericksbeef.com or stop by their location in Roseville off Lexington Avenue. Mavericks Real Roast Beef.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us. Share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story. This is our story. This is GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun.
And this is GhostBox Radio on AM 950, where every night we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. My name is Greg Bakun. Thank you very much for joining me on this Wednesday. And before we get to one question readings tonight, I do have to say, first of all, that I think if you're watching the Facebook feed, Deb is taking us on a tour of wherever she is right now. I don't know what's going on. I almost feel more like I need to watch that than actually talk. But we'll get to Deb here in a second here. So I just want to first say, and I'm very happy about this, and we mentioned this at the beginning of the week. Today, actually, July 10th, is the 1-year anniversary that I have gone. I've done the radio show nightly, going 5 nights a week. I started that a year ago. This is 1 full year of me doing the radio show nightly. It's a paranormal show every night, Monday through Friday. It is such a privilege to be able to do this, and I love every second of it. I never come into this being like, oh, I just need to get through the show tonight. I wish that I didn't have to do it. I have never felt that way, and I am truly blessed that I've been given this opportunity by AM 950. I've been with AM 950 for 4 years now. It's going to be 4 years in October. We did this 1 year of nightly. It's going very well. I'm very happy about it. I've been doing the show probably for nearly 10 years in certain iterations. So I'm very excited about that. And as we are on the 1-year anniversary of this show being nightly, I do want to say that AM 950 and I are doing a second show together. And we're going to kind of talk more about that as we get closer to it. But it has to do with food, which is truly one of my most favorite subjects, and everything to do with the local eating scene. So I'm very excited about it. We'll talk more about that as we get closer to it. We were meeting about it today at the station. It's just exciting. It's so much fun. And I just really wanted to take a moment to say how grateful I am for all this these wonderful opportunities. And I also wanted to say hello to Adam, who is back at the station, who has been along this ride with me now. We've been probably doing this for about 2 years, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, because I think I started doing the witching hour with you at 4:05 in like 22.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
Went back when we were on, when it's scary and 4:05 and light out in the afternoons on a Sunday.
That's the scary time to do a paranormal show. But we went back to our roots on 2 Sundays ago for Pride when we did the live show out there. And I said it Monday. I'm going to say it again. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. That was really cool to be able to do that. And we had a packed tent. which was really cool to see as well. Packed tent, people very interested. So it once again, very blessed for that. And unfortunately, Adam had to be at the station for that, but it was nice still to be able to interact with you from the station while we were in Loring Park. That was a lot of fun.
It was an absolute blast, and a guilty pleasure of mine is actually when you and Shar just get together and talk about your experiences. Those are the ones I love to hear the most.
No, it's nice to hear.
And because you two, I love how you guys do everything, how you go about your investigations, how you go about looking at the paranormal. So just listening to you banter back and forth, some of my favorite episodes. And I'm really glad that first half of that show on Sunday was basically old school you and Char going back and forth. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. That was a lot of fun, and even more fun watching some of the stuff we're telling and watching people in the audience kind of have their eyes get a little bit bigger because they weren't prepared for some of the stuff that we've experienced. But that's neither here nor there. But I just wanted to take a moment for myself, as I very often do, and just say that I'm so happy that we made it a year doing this, and I don't see this stopping anytime soon. So I'm super excited about it. And also, along the way, we've met a number of amazing people that I've been able to call friends, and I've been able to have on the program many a times. And tonight is absolutely no different. We have psychic medium, refined divine. We have Deb with us tonight. We have Deb with us. We try to do every other Wednesday for one question readings, but with the holiday and stuff, we weren't able to kind of keep that cadence. So it seems like, Deb, that has been a long time since we've had you on. How are you tonight?
We're good. Thank you, Greg.
It's
Great to be here.
It is great to have you here. It's great. I know that Dave is in the background, so
He's
I
here.
mean, can feel Dave's energy. So it's always good. And what are you doing this weekend? Where are you at this time that we're talking with you?
We are at the Northwood State Fair. So they could find us there in a booth in Building A. If you guys are out and about in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, we are here at the State Fair all weekend, through this week and the weekend. And I'm doing readings actually right there in Building A. And we'd love to see you. We have a lot of product with us. It's a great atmosphere. We love it. We are having a good time.
That's fantastic. And then just a little bit of something to get people excited about is not this Friday, but the following Friday, we're going to have Deb back on the show for Casual Friday, and we're going to just be talking about aliens and all that stuff. Here's something off the top of my head here. You're actually going to be in the Twin Cities at that point, right?
Yes.
Do you want to come? Do you want to come to the studio that night?
Ooh, let's do it.
I just thought about that. Do you think about it? You don't, if you're not able to, because I know that your time is probably precious, but maybe we do that. Maybe we do a in studio special episode.
Dave gave me the thumbs up.
Woo! I know that has a lot of meaning. So I'm really excited about that. All right, so let's get to it. Okay, I've spoken enough, and I know that there's people waiting. So tonight, with Psychic Medium, Refined Divine, we are doing one question readings. It's very simple how it works. Put your questions into the comments section, or you can call in. The number is 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205. We already have a caller, which we'll get to in a second, but we'll just be very honest. The calls get to the head of the line. You can ask about anything. You can ask about, a loved one who have passed, whatever, but Deb does not talk about politics. Deb does not talk about legal matters or medical matters. Okay, so that's simple rules, not a big deal. Just keep away from that. So, Deb, are you ready?
I am ready. Let's do this.
Once again, you can call in 952-946-6205, and that's where we're going to head off first. Tonight, we have Carrie on the phone. Carrie, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing very well. Thank you very much for waiting. What's your question for Deb tonight?
So, ringing in the ears, and I know it's not tinnitus, but how do you decipher the tones?
Yeah, so
the different pitches, the different sides of your ears. I've been trying to figure it out because I get it. And, I've tried to stop and say, okay, what's going on? And really, sometimes my head is like blank. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So first, I need to know if your yes is your right ear or your left ear. So this is going to help everybody, Greg, and for you.
Sure.
So what I need to know, I want you to do is I want you to hold both hands out on your lap, like in the receiving position. And I want you to drop down into your heart because our heart and our body are psychic, not our heads. And what I want you to do is say, my name is Debbie. And I want you to see which hand is either throbbing, tingling, or telling you that it's a no.
Am I supposed to say it out loud or can I say it in my
Yep,
head?
out loud.
Okay, my name is Debbie.
Which
My
hand?
right hand.
Okay,
God.
so that means, so then let me just show you how this works. Now I want you to say, my name is in your name.
My name is Carrie. Okay, I see the difference. I can feel
Yep.
the.
So that means the left side of your body is yes, and the right side of the body is no. So that's also going to be when you're speaking to the angelic realm, which are your angels. So whenever you're hearing it on that right side, it's a no. If it's on the left side, it's a yes. And if it's in both ears, it's a pay the hell attention. Something's going on here. Watch out. Something significant is happening. Usually, sometimes like a little deja vu can take place with that. When it's a different frequency and it seems like it's like up and down, kind of like if it's like piercing, like this, we
Yeah.
find that people that have passed can also use the frequency of the angelic realm when they're really trying to get your attention. So I always tell people to drop into your heart when you're hearing the humming and see if you're getting music in your heart or is it actual messages of, are you getting like screenshots of movies? Are you getting emotions? What kind of downloads are you getting in your heart when you're listening?
Okay. And then so when you hear, sometimes it sounds like little conversations. Like if you were sitting in like a room and somebody was outside your window, like out front, you could hear like muffled.
Yeah.
Are you not supposed to be able to hear that? Like, is it none of your business kind of thing?
So you hear external. So when we hear external, that's very different than hearing internal inside of mind's eye. So that means that your psychic abilities are here on this realm. And so to tune into that, if you would like, if you want to amplify this, what you need to do is just invite that energy towards you and cycle that through your heart. But of course, we have to remember to stay grounded, centered, connected, and in a safe place and make sure it's something we want to be messing around with first and foremost.
Right.
We don't want to invite anything in that we don't want to be messing with. But if it feels like it's somebody connected to you, that's how you would filter through and be able to hear better. Because remember, our body and our heart are psychic, our eyes and our ears are not.
Okay. Perfect. Well, you think you answered my questions. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie.
Thanks. Have a good night.
So you too, thank you. And that's the thing, and I put up your website on the screen for those listening at home. The website is www.refineddivinepsychic.com, and that was a great question from Carrie, and you do classes that focus on that as well. That helps, and
Yes.
and I say that not as like that. I'm glad that she asked the question, but I think that sometimes people want to be able to move that information further, right, Deb?
Yeah, to expand it and be able to really learn how to use it and apply it to your life. And that's what we teach in our classes.
Absolutely. And I've known a number of people who, since we've started having you on, that have taken the classes, taken the retreats, have done the expanded readings, and that everyone has walked away with a really good feeling of like this is like that they really got what they wanted out of it. So once again, I suggest to folks, if you have not done so, go to refineddivinepsychic.com and see what's going on there. And once again, folks, in not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, you're going to be able to, in the Twin Cities area, you're going to be able to meet a psychic medium, Refined Divine, at the Maple Grove. It's what is that called? Is it just Psychic Fair?
The Psychic Fair, Dave?
Maple Grove Expo.
The Maple Grove Expo on
Maple-
Saturday, and then Sunday is the Root Holistic Show, and that's in Lake Elmo.
Got it. So yeah, I mean, for all those who, I mean, GhostBox Radio is a local program to the Twin Cities. All of you who have been listening for all this time, this is your opportunity to be able to meet Deb in person, as well as get a reading, and get it right there. And folks, I do want to say once again, call in, because with Carrie calling, you could see the back and forth just really helps the situation altogether. Why don't we get to one other reading before we go to break here? Bruce, he says, for Deb, I mean, who else would it be for? And yeah, well, we could try. I wonder if there are any messages from prior lives that I should be aware of.
So Bruce, when we're accessing prior lives or past lives, the only time I've ever known it to be important or to address it is if we have triggers. People will be scared to drive over bridges. They'll be scared to go to sleep. They'll be scared of their children dying, or they're not going to wake up, or their circumstances, like they'll be scared of a loud sound because of a gunshot, because of the war in the past, things like this. So my access to past lives, I can follow energy lines when I know that there's a direct issue that's inflicting on you. So I can follow that energy line once it's presented to me. So that's how my psychic ability works for past lives.
Got it. I feel like, and Bruce, correct me if I'm wrong here, I feel like that I think the reason why he might have asked is that maybe he thought there might be some sort of maybe a continuity between all of our existence, of like we're we're learning upon each new thing, and maybe that there was some sort of advice or something. So I kind of feel like that maybe that's where Bruce was coming from with that. It's very interesting, and past lives themselves is just a very interesting concept altogether, isn't it?
Yes, it's actually very complex. Because we're all living in the now, which is the present moments, but all other dimensions are too. So it's always consistent. And this is really hard for people to understand, that everything is now and that even past lives are now. So it's just a different dimension in which we live. And when I teach that, people just, their brains just go, what? And I
Right.
just say, just stick with it, learn, it's a progress of undoing the conditioning in our brains. And once you get there, you get there. And that's all I can say about that.
Bruce said, yeah, he thought, right, a carryover. And here's the thing too that I find interesting is that and correct me if I'm wrong here, I find that most people who say what they thought like a past life was often is not quite right. Actually, they're normally wrong. Is what I'm
99% of the time they're wrong. Because
Yeah.
when I access it and I go in, I'm like, yeah, that's not real. And the thing is that a lot of mediums also will say things that off the cuff, almost for enjoyment or pleasure. That's not what my past life readings are ever for. Mine are only to address things that are inflicting somebody's life. And so I'm always really careful about, going into that, because also, going in there and digging isn't really beneficial unless we're healing something that we're currently dealing with, because otherwise we're focused on other things that aren't even here in the now. And so that's not presently going to help you move forward.
Absolutely. Why don't we go ahead and do this once again, folks? If you have questions, put them into the comments here. We tend to try to keep this a light program because they're just one question readings. You want something more involved, please go to refineddivinepsychic.com. I'll put that into the comments as well to get a reading. We're going to take our first break. When we come back, let's get to some more questions and anything on your mind. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950. Have you ever met someone who not only can help you on a deep spiritual level, but also potentially change your life? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who travels the nation and lives right here in the Midwest. And she offers mediumship, mentorship, house and business parties, energy healing, palm readings, and so much more. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
Hi, this is Psychic Medium Deb. I cannot wait to hear from you. You can go to refineddivinepsychic.com.
Greg Bakun here. I love historic tours of Minneapolis and seeing everything it has to offer. But if you know me, I like to include a little spooky in my tours, which is why I found the perfect combination. Minneapolis Trolley Tours does this amazing candlelight ghost tour that you have to check out. It's an extremely immersive experience. It's a trolley trip that starts out at a haunted mansion, traveling around Minneapolis locations, exposing ghost stories that the public and business owners would rather left untold. Then a tour of the aforementioned haunted mansion where ghosts of past residents from the 1800s reside, plus a lot of surprises to discover. Next, experience Gertrude's After Hours. Did I mention Gertrude is the mansion's most famous ghost? Maybe she'll show up. And you finish up the tour at Gertrude's Lounge in the haunted basement of the mansion with refreshments and Q&A. The trolleys are climate controlled and the mansion is restored to perfection. Check out MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for more information.
If you own a holistic or metaphysical business and are looking to expand, then you need to be listed on MetamorphosisConnections.com. It's a network where you can grow with like-minded practitioners and reach new clients. MetamorphosisConnections.com is an online directory you need to list yourself and your business. Our platform makes it easy for you to create listings of your products and services, and you can also choose to list your classes, events, and so much more. MetamorphosisConnections.com helps you create weekly and monthly promotional ads targeted towards your potential clients and promotes them for you via social media and newsletter. There are clients searching for your specialty right now. Let us help them find you. Start your listing today so you can share your own unique gifts and talents by finding the level of membership that best fits your needs. Let us help you reach your clients that are searching for what you do. Visit MetamorphosisConnections.com and sign up today.
And welcome back to GhostBox Radio on AM 950. My name is Greg Bakun. Thank you very much for joining us on this Wednesday, July 10th. We're very excited tonight because we have with us Psychic Medium, Refined Divine, and it's always so much fun to have you on here. And I'm glad that you're here tonight, and I'm glad that we were having little side conversations. Those worked out very well. Are you ready for some more questions? Are you ready to unmute yourself as well so we can hear you?
Yes.
Okay, good. It's all part of the process, isn't it? If it's not me muting you, it's you muting you, because we know I've done it to you before as well, and we make mistakes. We're kind of human. I'm kind of human.
We're kind of human, but more channeling, we're mostly not. So then we forget the physical things.
Yeah. So here's the thing too, and I do want to say, once again, we're keeping the questions light tonight. So if there's anything more you want to go further, I would recommend scheduling some time and talking about, because there's questions that just cannot be like a one question thing, and obviously those are questions that deserve time and deserve the on both ends of the spectrum here of people putting their time into to listen as well as give the information. So once again, right? I mean, that sounds fair, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, yes, and it does take a lot of time. And so I've done seven different cases that I've helped, like missing people, find their people and locate them and things like that. But it does take a lot of time, and that's a lot of energy. That's just not something we can answer in one question. That's
Absolutely.
a lot of like digging in and following different energy lines to find out different things. So definitely something you want to schedule an appointment for.
And I think that's only fair to the memory of who you might be asking about as well.
Correct.
So with that being said, once again, put in your questions in the comments. We're just not going to answer stuff like that, as well as politics, medical, let's just have a good night. And so let's go to the phones, because once again, if you call in, you're going to get to the head of the line, 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205. We're going to go to the phone right now. Emily is on the line. How are you doing tonight, Emily?
Oh, I'm good.
just little old me. I'm making liquid hand soap.
You're making liquid hand soap.
I am. I'm
Okay.
doing about 10 things at once because of who I am as a person.
Well, that's good. That's good. What you got for Deb tonight?
Yeah, my question's pretty easy. I'm having some issues listening to my guides, so I'm just wondering if my guides have anything they want me to know right now.
Well, Emily, right away I start giggling because your guides are just hilarious. You
I
said
bet. They'd have to be.
you
They'd have
outed
to.
yourself. You outed yourself right away. We always say don't tell the psychic anything, but literally that's exactly why you're not hearing. Is because you're so incredibly busy. Like you're more than a busy bee. You're like a flock of bees in one body.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
the not the not hearing is because you're consistently really thinking and your mind's going in so many different directions at the same time. And so meditation, breath work, bringing yourself into calm, dropping yourself down into your heart and into your body, centering, grounding, all things to help you hear.
That's wonderful, and you're totally right.
Yeah, slow down, honey. Life isn't not fleeting. Understand that this is what they're saying to you. Every single minute could be our last, or it could be the start of something new. And so it's all on how we want to perceive it. And so remember, with every breath, we can just choose again and again and again. So let's make the most of what we have, but also let's cherish the body and make sure that our vessel stays sacred and gets rest.
Well, as always, you're right, and they're right. And of course, I probably knew that, but needed to hear it. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Can I put a side question to that? Just kind of,
Yeah.
thinking about it, and love your thought on it. When you're like an entrepreneur, right, and you're doing your own thing, say like, for example, Emily, that she's making soap and she's doing all this stuff. And I think we all know that we have to settle down at some point. We have to kind of slow down and take precautions. But yet at the other end of it, there's this sort of like, I need to keep moving because I need to make some kind of money. I need to make product, because if I don't make product, I'm not going to sell. Do you have any suggestions on how to make that work together as well?
Yeah, because I'm a workaholic, Greg.
Right.
So often my guides are screaming at me also. I set my timer. And Emily, this is really, really important. Every single hour, if you can just take a nice deep breath in and hold it and blow out 3 times. Let's all do this together. Let me teach you how to go into a quick meditation and clear the brain like this to
Cool.
access that spot. Let's do this. Ready, everybody? In. Hold your breath and then blow as hard as you can. And in, hold, blow hard, in, hold, blow. Now, Emily, observe your brain.
Well, there was nothing there, which is pretty strange.
And now, Emily, drop into your heart.
My heart kind of feels like crying a little bit.
Yes. And so what actually is really going on and what we need to sit with and deal with is in that heart space. And so dropping in just like that once an hour, guys, set that timer once an hour, use those breaths, understand that we're supposed to be out there as humans, running around, hunting, foraging, building, doing all these things that we're supposed to be as human beings on this earth, but we don't because we're spoiled. So we're not getting that oxygenation to the head that we're supposed to get into our lungs, into our body. So these breaths literally push that oxygen through the body and through the head and bring us into center and clears that brain and drop into that heart. And that's where your truth lies.
That makes sense. I mean, what the hell is a credit score? Ew.
It's fake, Emily. It's all fake.
It's all fake. You're right.
Now, my question is, when all that breathing was going on, Adam, were you doing it at the studio? You better have been.
Actually, yeah, I was.
Do you feel better?
A little bit.
All right, good.
Do it
I don't
again.
feel as
Do it
antsy.
again.
I don't feel as antsy, with my finger next to the dump button.
Well,
All that breathing going on, there's no swearing.
yeah, right. Exactly. Kind of pulls away the swear words, doesn't it? So good. Emily, does that work for you? All that?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you, Deb.
Yeah,
As
you're
usual,
welcome,
you're on
Emily.
fire.
And Emily, if you want to attend one of our classes for free, the first one's always free. The next one is Monday. She does? She has. She has? Oh, you has? You've
Yeah.
already been to our classes,
He
Dave? said?
has. Yes.
Yeah,
She has.
I have.
Okay. Well,
I think
Emily, if you'd like to
I'm
join
quite
us again,
proud.
let me
Yeah.
know.
That would be awesome. I plan to actually get a reading with you here as soon as I can.
Okay.
Good. All righty. Thank you very much, Emily.
So much.
All righty. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. So we're doing one question readings with Psychic Medium Refined Divine since Emily brought it up. And if you do want to do a one question reading, set up a reading with Deb, go over to refineddivinepsychic.com. That is refineddivinepsychic.com. There's multiple ways that you can set up a reading. There's multiple options, I should say, as well as different classes. And as you said, I mean, this goes for everybody, right? That first class is free.
First class is free.
All right. I didn't want to make deals on your behalf. The GhostBox special, but I wanted to make sure that people know that that's a really good opportunity. Even at that, the classes are very inexpensive because you're trying to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to reach their full potential, which is awesome.
Absolutely. And we do scholarships for people who can't afford it too. I mean, obviously I'm psychic, so I'm going to know if you're lying. So just be careful about that.
Yes, that's good. That's good. Let's keep the liars out. So we're doing this wonderful question. Melissa says that she loves the classes. Really appreciate that. That is good. Let's see here. We're doing one question readings. You can put them in the comments. You can also call in 952-946-6205, 946-6205. Calls do get to the front of the line, just going to say, but let's go to the comments section and let's see what's next here. I kind of lost my place, so give me 1 second here. Anna says, she says, I have a question for Deb. Should I try for another baby at this point in my life, or is it better for me to just not have a second child?
Anna, when I look into your energy, I feel that passion in your heart and the desire for the second. And it feels like it's almost incomplete without that second one. And so always know that that passion and desire is for a reason. That's the other side calling to you. And so always just to listen to that because you're right. There's a second one waiting for you. And for sure, absolutely, it's a yes.
Isn't that also where it's like really digging down into your intuition on something like that? Because your heart's telling you, right?
Yes.
What it is, unless you go to a doctor and the doctor says, I don't know. I mean, if you're having that pull, right? I mean, that's
absolutely. And that song just come in. Listen to your heart.
and I don't have children, but I have a cat, so I totally can understand. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, they're not the same.
You need a second
I don't
kitty?
think they're the same. I don't know. What's that?
You need a second kitty, Greg?
Do you have one? I mean, do you have one over there right now? You can bring them to Minnesota next week, and
oh God, we had one pass away, so now we're on a kitty mission because our children need another kitty. So actually, we found like 15 kitties. If you're interested.
Yeah, and no, I'm good. I'm good. The one I have is a massive pain, and I'm trying to see if I can see him through the door right now. He he can't take his eyes off me, and I understand. I get it. I mean, look at me, but I mean, still,
maybe he needs a brother, Greg.
He's old. He's old. He's elderly, and I think it's unfair.
Need something to focus on.
Well, no, that's true too. Let's go to Jamie. And she asked the question, when will I get a soulmate?
Okay, so Jamie, always understand that soulmates actually are everywhere. And so when we talk about a soul connection or a soul mate, it literally is that they are a part of you, or like the crush that in which you came in with. And so they we cycle through so many lifetimes over and over and over, and these people carry through with us, and they are called our crushes. And so when you say soulmate, what spirit says to us and what real soulmate means is that it is a part of that energy that keeps cycling through back through. And so it's somebody that we may have married 10 times, and it's been or they've been our sister in a past life, it's been a brother, it's been a husband, a wife, all the different things. And so a real soul mate connection is just somebody that you really feel like they are you and you are them.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a good point that it doesn't have to be romantic when you have a soulmate
No,
connection.
absolutely not. I've had lots of soulmates, and it hasn't been romantic.
No. No, and I think that's also good too, that you could have many of them, and that it makes it, to me at least, it makes it more palpable, really.
Yeah, it's not just one person.
Right. Right. So when somebody, because we know what Jamie is asking for, what's the proper way of asking that? Because we know that Jamie is looking for
She's looking for the love of her life.
yeah. Is
So
that
she's looking for a partner. She's looking for that eagle to soar with that nobody else soars with, right? Because
right?
eagles, when they find their mates, they're together forever. So she's looking for that partner. So when I look into that energy, Jamie, it actually looks like you may know them already. And when I look into that energy, it looks like maybe within the next year,
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
depending on your choices.
That's cool. That's cool. You got to wonder if there'd be less jealous people in the world if people understood better the idea of the concept of a soulmate.
Yes, I
You know,
agree.
because
And that's why I'm out here just teaching, Greg.
uh, this has been an enlightening hour. I mean,
Yes.
we learned how to breathe, and that was good.
Yes.
I do mean that, actually. I mean, it's really cool.
We learned
Because
yes and no.
that's true. We did, and a side of me vibrated for yes, like immediately. So yeah, no,
Hmm.
this
And
is good.
you can always use that, Greg, no matter where. Like I tell people, go into a grocery store and just test yourself. Be like, test your psychic abilities, listen to your heart, listen to your body. Is there 7 people in the next aisle? And I'll either get a yes or a no on the sides of my body. I mean, and just test yourself and just get used to doing that. And then once you get used to doing that, I teach my students to go into the nothingness in the back of their head at night when you fall asleep. That pace where you fall but feel like you catch yourself, that's the other side, and that's your connection. And so
Got it.
it's trying to go into that connection space and listening for more than just the yes or no.
That's good. And I also think too that there's when people try this stuff, when you're giving people suggestions on what to do, if it doesn't happen at all, don't give up. Like,
No.
because sometimes you may stop yourself from actually picking up the information or whatever, but don't stop. Don't keep trying. You will get there.
And I always recommend doing those breaths before you try anything,
Yeah.
because getting the mind to be quiet and be still is key.
That's good. Now let's see here. Emily says, I use finger dowsing. It's fantastic. I don't want to know what that is. I think I don't, or is that really a thing? I don't know what that is.
It's really a thing.
Okay, that's not a thing I want to know about. I use dowsing rods, quite frankly. So why don't we do this? Why don't we go to commercial break before I pull us off the air accidentally? We're going to do more one question readings with psychic medium refined divine. Put your questions into the comments or call us 952-946-6205, and we'll keep this train moving. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950.
We know you value buying local, especially when it comes to your magical supplies. So if you're looking for grimoires, decks, jewelry, candles, or herbs that are locally sourced, then come on down to Magus Books and Herbs. Curated for your ritual, ceremonial, spiritual, and spellwork needs, we've got all the tools to make your working extra. So make that prosperity ritual one that keeps on giving by visiting us at 1848 Central Avenue Northeast in Minneapolis, or visit us online at magusbooks.com.
The Tilted Tiki, located in downtown Stillwater, helps you get your tropical tiki vibe on with a large selection of fantastic tasting tiki cocktails served in unique and fun glasses, a menu of delicious food ranging from small bites, craft tacos, sandwiches, and more. Plus, don't forget they have live music Wednesday through Saturday nights. Located in downtown Stillwater, the Tilted Tiki is your tropical relaxation restaurant in Minnesota. Visit thetiltedtiki.com.
Reach your highest level of consciousness and well-being with metamorphosisconnections.com. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory of the best holistic and metaphysical practitioners to help you make your most informed choices. You can search metamorphosisconnections.com for classes, events, wellness and life coaches, plus metaphysical products and shops. You can also search for a wide array of healers from all modalities, including EFT, sound healing, energy healing, light therapy, ancestral healing, shamanic healing, reflexology, past life regressions, hypnotherapy, yoga, and more. And if you're not sure where to start, the search feature on metamorphosisconnections.com is tailored to help both those who know what they are looking for and those who are just starting. Come explore the possibilities for your higher self by visiting metamorphosisconnections.com. Their experienced practitioners can guide both beginners and those that are already on their spiritual journey. That's metamorphosisconnection.com, your link to direct you on your spiritual transformation.
Greg Bakun here. I've told you about the out-of-the-world roast beef sandwiches at Maverick's Real Roast Beef, but I haven't told you about their Philly steak sandwiches, turkey bacon avocado sandwich, BLT, crispy chicken, fish sandwiches, brisket, or pulled pork. Okay, you get the idea. They make a lot of delicious food to the same standard as their famous roast beef sandwiches, and now I'm starving. I'm going to go to Maverick's Real Roast Beef off Lexington and Roseville, and you need to go too. Check out their menu at mavericksbeef.com. And tomorrow is Thursday, so that means that we'll be back for Myth or Mystery. You can only catch that on Facebook on GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun, and it's the weekly, basically panel program where we look at videos and we, with voting from the audience, decide if what we're looking for is myth, mystery, or unknown, basically paranormal or not. And tomorrow, our special guest we're going to have on is Carrie the Mortician. And she's going to share some real ghost stories, experience on the job. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff, and that's going to be tomorrow at 9 Central on GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun. Please check it out. And then on GhostBox Radio itself tomorrow, we're doing a replay with our guest, Ernie Pack from Pac-Man Paranormal, lives down in West Point, Kentucky. He's going to tell us some truly inspirational things that have happened to his life because of his paranormal beliefs. It's a great episode. It was actually one that I think that we ran in January of this year, and it's a great episode. And we are doing one question readings. We have Psychic Medium, Refined Divine, Deb. Once again, folks, please go out to her website and check out what she has going on, refineddivinepsychic.com, where you can go ahead and you can schedule readings. You can check out any retreats coming up, plus her appearances, her classes. Then you're at where this weekend again? I apologize.
That's okay. We're at the Northwood State Fair. We're in Building A, guys, if you want to come check us out. No galleries or anything. We are just doing the State Fair. It's the first time I've ever done it. It's actually a ton of fun. And they have Ludacris on set Friday night playing. And there's like, who else? Lee Bryce Tom. They have some really big names at the State Fair. Yeah. It's actually quite exciting.
I love summer state fairs. And I mean, it's just that wonderful get together sort of atmosphere. And then you're going to be on with us, breaking news. Okay, folks, if you can handle it, breaking news on GhostBox Radio that Deb and Dave, right? Dave is going to be with us.
Yeah.
We'll put him in the control room with Adam, so he can just stare at Adam the whole time, since they seem to have a thing going on.
Dave's actually quite
Dave.
But that's going to be not this Friday, but next Friday. Then you're going to be in Maple Grove. We'll talk more about that as we get closer to it. And then late on Saturday in Lake Elmo on Sunday. Well, it's a busy time. I mean, obviously your highlight's going to be Friday, but we can still talk about the other stuff as well.
And Sunday, 11 a.m. I'm going to be doing the psychic gallery and that Sunday, so that's cool.
That's going to be very cool. So let's see here. Let's get to some readings. People have been very patient in the comments and stuff. And once again, to get to the front of the line, go 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205. Let's see here. Where did we leave off? Who do we need to talk to now? Give me one quick second. You thought, with the 3 minutes we had for break that I would have had this all figured out, and look at me now. Let's see here. Gayla says, she asked the question. I would personally prefer something a little bit more specific. Do you get anything for me? Speaking of aliens, my kids were all born in Roswell, New Mexico. I understand it was in the water. But she asked, do you get anything for me?
Meaning, I'm guessing that you're asking me, do I sense any aliens around you?
Gayla, if you're still with us, could you go ahead and put into the comments what it is you're looking for? And we're going to move on because I think that's the thing. And this is, I don't know, Deb, how you feel about it, but I mean, to me, it's just like, if there's something specific, ask the specific, right? I mean,
yes, please.
It just makes things a lot easier. Now, for example, Cynthia asked the question, could I please get a reading? Will this house become my home?
I got a yes. My whole body rose up and it feels like home, like you love it, you're passionate about it, and you're willing to do whatever it takes to make that happen. So I get a yes, Cynthia.
Cynthia's a very sweet person, so hopefully everything works out exactly how she wants it. So I hope that is the news that you are looking for. And
part of manifestation is always knowing that it's taking place.
Absolutely. Let's see here. Let's see. We talked about that. Marianne says, interesting. Would like a reading. How will my future be in the paranormal world? I do have my own team. So I take that as a paranormal investigator who wants to know how her paranormal career is going to go.
When I look into your energy, it feels like we have some self-doubting thoughts and some like self-doubting stuff going on. So always know that when we're ever working with the other side or the metaphysical, that we need to be very dedicated to self and be very understanding that this is our journey and that this is what we choose and this is what we want to do. Because whenever the universe hears waving in our energy, then the universe doesn't bring us exactly what we want because it's confused, because we're back and forth on things. So it feels like you probably have like a regular job or something else going on too, where we're like back and forth with it, or like we're not making a direct decision yet. And so when we make that decision, then I can see more clearly, because right now it just looks kind of murky.
Got it. And thank you for that, Marianne. Gayla's back, and Gayla says, my father died when I was 7. I'd love to hear from him specifically.
What's his name?
Gayla, if you could put his name into the comments, please. So that we can go ahead and answer. Well, not we. But you like how
Greg.
I just kind of add me to it, like,
it's
myself and Deb, I guess, can answer some of this question. Okay, Gayla says Jake.
Sure, let's go there. He feels very hardworking. He feels like he's very dedicated to family. Family's his whole life, and very structured. Does this sound like him? Let's make sure it's him before we give a yes.
Gayla, can you respond yes in the comments, please, or whatever?
And I'm having trouble breathing, so I'm. Did he die of something afflicted with the heart and lungs?
So once again, as we're waiting for Gayla to answer those questions, once again, go ahead and check out refinedivinepsychic.com, and you can be able to schedule your readings, your classes. That's the stuff that is, more than just one question readings. Now, Gayla says that yes, brain cancer.
Okay, and it took over his whole body. Yeah. Okay. All right. So give us, so what he's saying to me is that he's saying that he's there more than you think he is. He's showing me like there's a lot of fun times and it's very hot wherever you're at, and there's a lot of time spent outside. And he's showing me the memories of being outside with you, and like he's saying to keep that memory alive because those lie inside of your heart, and he's saying that he does give you memories, and that when you get those memories just out of nowhere, that is him. And so he's showing me that. And there's also something about everybody gathering and gathering together inside of a house, and times of togetherness is really important to him and your family. And so he's talking to me about that. And he says that remember that family is like really key. Like he's trying to tell me like get the family back together, bring the family back. Like something about with when he passed and the family not being structured the way it used to be. So he's just urging me to like bring family together.
How does that resonate to you, Gayla? Go ahead and put that in the comments if you like. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot there. So, I mean, it's cool. It's always nice to know. And I think people forget that their loved ones are generally around them all the time.
Oh, yes, at any time. You say their name and they come right in, guys. They really are there. Understand that when you guys are thinking about them and you just don't even know, like often that's when they're sending images, memories, emotions, smells, feelings, and then they'll try to get your attention with feathers and coins and birds and animals. Oh my. They're always
Yeah.
trying to get our attention with tons of different ways.
You hear that, Adam? Feathers.
Yeah, I just found one at work today.
Yep.
Oh,
and
cool.
I had talked about feathers in the previous show that we did together. I'm a staunch believer in them. Stan had a question, just one about when you're going to be out in Minnesota. You're going to be doing private readings during the expos in Minnesota?
Yes.
Well, that answers that question. Thank you. All right. So, yes. Suddenly it's not only one question readings, it's one answer, Deb. So, okay. One word answer, Deb. Let's see here. Let's see. As I'm reading, Carrie asked the question, and you're going to know my response to this. Is my relationship worth fighting for?
Carrie, always know that when you ask that question, it means that you're doubting it. And so when you're doubting it, then you need to look inside of your heart and know that that doubt means that there's something happening that you need to take a look at. Because if you have a question about it, that means that your mind is wavering on this. So you need to sit with your heart and know, is this person for you or isn't this person for you? You have to know that you're the only person that actually knows the answer to that. I can look at your energy and I can see that you love him, and I can see a lot of different control issues and fluctuation happening, and a lot of different like back and forth stuff. And I always tell everybody, not just with love or relationships, but when you decide something, you need to keep your energy in the decision that you've made. Because when you flux and go back and forth, the universe hears that and it gets things all mixed up, and it doesn't know which way you want things to happen. So you always just have to trust you, pick one, stick with it. I know when I said to Dave, do or die, I meant it. I stick with that. And so my energy stays there. And no matter what happens, I'm willing to stick through it, and I'm willing to deal with it, and I'm willing to just be there for the ride, right, Dave?
Well, and even if you can give the absolute 100% right answer, it's still that's one of those questions that only she can. And
Well,
really,
only she can answer. And then here's the thing too, is that human nature, Greg, we can make one choice and then choose another choice 2 seconds later.
got it.
Like right now, I can look in her doubting energy, but then I can look and see a very committed energy. So, it's not, there's no really definite answer there because she's conflicted. So the energy is conflicted. So I could follow both lines, but it's all about which line she chooses.
Absolutely. Let's see here. Thank you very much for that. We are running out of time here. There was one other question. We have someone on the phone, but I don't think we're going to have time for that, unfortunately. I got a yes or no question for you, though.
Sure.
Louise asks, is it time for me to start a new career path?
No. You have to know that there's work here that needs done, and that you need to decide which way you need to go for you, not for others.
Absolutely. Now, Carol, we didn't get to you tonight, and I apologize for that, but please know that Refine Divine is going to be back with us on July 24th for more readings. When you're back with us on that Friday, which is not this Friday, but the following Friday, we're going to have more of a conversation. We're not really doing readings that night. If I'm, that's more, especially with you being in town, go to the events, get the readings in person, right? That's what those are about, and we'll talk a lot more about those events coming up on those Casual Fridays that we're going to have Deb on as well. Just want to say real fast, once again, if you want to schedule a reading, want to check out classes, want to check out the retreats that are coming up, please go to refinedivinepsychic.com and schedule whatever you need, or go to Facebook, Refine Divine, and start liking and following her. Deb, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're so welcome. This was fun. Thanks.
It's always fun. It's always good to see you too. We're going to be back tomorrow, Myth or Mystery at 9 p.m. Please check it out. Also at 10, we have Ernie Pack on, and Friday, Adam and I doing Casual Friday. Take care, everyone.